Okay, come here. Let's talk politics and philosophy. Come on, come here.
No.
Come on, politics. Science. That's the best way. Yes. Yes, you were talking about justice. What is
I was
justice?
just gonna say, like, for example, in this community, like when you live here, like maybe you don't agree that the speed limit should be 20 miles per hour or something, but if you go over 25 miles per hour, you're gonna get ticketed. So like guidelines differentiate to every different like society and community, and like by you choosing to live there, you're choosing to abide by them and to represent them to your fullest potential, and make sure that you don't like go against what they are like believing as.
Let's say this community is discriminating against the short people. Say short people will not enter the gates. Will you be abide by that?
Well, obviously, at that point, then you have to, like respectfully and peacefully make difference in like.
First of all, you will ask what is the definition of short, whether you are included or excluded.
No, I'm
correct?
not short. I'm 5'10". I'm above short.
Okay. What about they are excluding people with blue eyes? Let's say. It is more kind of
Well, yeah, obviously that
clearer
would,
than the ambiguous short.
well,
Okay.
obviously that would be morally unjust. So like,
Why?
because you're excluding like a certain person based off of their phenotype, or like.
Okay, great. Okay, that means that time you will be derogating from community norms, correct? You will not be abiding by that community's norms.
But well, you know what I meant. Like,
That means the measure is not community. The measure, there is something even above community that even can make you go against the community rules, correct?
yeah, but
Therefore, give me a better definition of justice.
that's my definition, like doing what's right, because.
Okay, what is well? When I say what is just, you say what is what it is right.
Like
What is right?
Like what's just is doing what you like morally believe. Like everyone has their own conscience. So like, like if someone is being like prosecuted or persecuted, like you obviously want to stand up for them because that's how you make a difference.
Come on, Omid. Let's say I believe that Iranian people are evil and they should not be really given full rights in this country. And I believe that morally, I think Persian language is not really good language. It sounds like the language of barbarians. And therefore, am I just right now? Am I moral or no?
I mean, that's your own opinion. So like
Then,
that's what you believe, like, but like that's not like an open-minded perspective. And like as humans, like I can't force you to change your perspective, but what I can do is like respectfully tell you how I believe like something is going on, or like what my perspective is on the situation. And then if you're not willing to like respect me or like not even change your perspective, but like respect my perspective enough to alter yours at least slightly, so that we can live together or be together respectfully, then we just shouldn't communicate.
I see. You say diverse ideas, very different ideas, could be say it is okay as long as you are keeping for yourself, you're not imposing on others, correct?
I mean, I think everyone just has their own perspective on stuff, so.
But aren't we doing that all the time through votes, through certain political systems and economic systems, parties? We impose majority's rule on others. Do you think majority that time is right? Or they don't have the right to impose on others the way they think, correct? For example, let's say minimum wage. Minimum wage, let's say, I think it is unjust that the people who are not working as much as 1,000 workers, employees, they should not make 10,000 times more money, correct? It is unjust because these 1,000 people work much more than that guy. And that guy, because he started this, should not have so much right on the production of people who really work, correct? I said, therefore, they should be also considered partners.
I think you should get paid for the amount of time you work, though.
Yeah, how much paid?
I don't know. I mean, I work on minimum wage at Panera, so.
Yeah, who defines minimum wage? Or I do, let's say, I think that minimum wage is bad imposition, and the free market should determine how much I will pay. And there are many people, they want to work for this for 5 hours, $5 per hour instead of $15 per hour. Therefore, the government should not be imposing minimum wage. Even work days, the government, let's say, limit work days, let's say, to 40 hours or whatever. There should not be. A person should be able to work 7 days a week, 16 hours a day, minimum wage, no problem. If
it should be up to your own discretion, right?
Yeah.
Like, I work 3 times a week, and I work about 5-hour shifts. So like I choose when I need to work or when I can work. That's like what best fits my schedule. So.
Okay. Well, this is. Do you see the bad tension? Some people, some greedy people do not want to pay to their workers much, but on the other side, workers say it's not just. We cannot even make a decent living with this money. Therefore, as a society, we need to force them to pay. And on what side you are?
I think there just has to be like an equal balance, and like minimum wage is determined by the government, isn't it? To like in the states. I don't know.
Do you think government?
What?
But the problem is, you are an individual in that decision-making committee. What guides you? Well, you are the decision-making. Let's say, don't delegate your decision to so-called government. You are the government, okay? You are the government. Tell us what will guide you to decide what will be the minimum wage, or there would be a minimum wage or not.
I think you need to look at like average living expenses.
I see. You want to protect. Okay.
Take in all these different things that will determine your end income and the type of lifestyle you'll be able to live. And then at the end of the day, minimum wage is minimum wage. And the amount of money you make is determined by the amount of hours you're willing to invest in them.
Great. Okay, you're doing well. I'm so proud of you. You're thinking and love it. Yeah. And one more thing. Let's say circumcision. Some kids are circumcised while they're in hospital. They are born, and his doctor gets his scissors, clip that part, and it really makes surgery. Yeah, it's funny. You have no idea what we are talking about. Kerata.
You just like
and then they basically do an unnecessary surgery on the kid. And what do you think, Justice? This kid doesn't have the right to say yes or no, and he's afflicted with really painful experience, sometimes traumatizing. And do you think it's okay? What is justice here? Tell me.
I mean, I guess, like when you're born at first, your parents are making your decisions for you because they're who you hope would make the best decision for you, have your best interest at heart. So at that time, you really can't say anything. And I feel like people just assume it's less painful to get it done right away instead of later on in life. So like they make the decision that they believe is best suited for the kid.
Let's say the parents, this is for religious purposes they do this. It's really not medically required, the surgery. And the parents do it because of their religious beliefs, correct? And therefore, what if parents' religious belief is they think one of the fingers of a human finger is extra. We need to clip it when grow. It is bring bad luck. Pick a ring. Pick a finger. Which finger? Come on, just randomly. Pick finger.
Definitely this one.
Okay, let's say they decide
that's the least valuable one.
Okay, let's say they decided to clip the finger of their kids when they are born. That finger, ring finger. Mm-hmm. And then, do you think it's okay? We should say, well, it is their kids, they can do that.
Well, no.
No, circumcision is okay?
If that was like societal beliefs, then people would still do that because they don't let like any like common sense get in the way of their beliefs or judgment. Well, people's like beliefs are too overriding, to like.
I know, but in China, let's say
common sense to get in the way of it.
Let's say the Chinese, once there was a culture, they believed that girls with smaller feet, they were more desirable, correct? They created a superstition about girls' feet. Mm-hmm. And then they put their feet into bondage in the lock, like a metal lock. Basically the shoe did not allow their feet grow, and some of them would get infected and terrible distortions in their feet, horrible, but they would do that since childhood. Now, what do you think about that? Do you think they had the right because they are parent, the child belong?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I see. That means you have...
Well, I mean, like they also had the opportunity to tell their parents that, like, obviously their parents knew that it didn't go through, especially the mothers, because they had to experience it themselves. But they just, like I just said, when someone's societal beliefs or community beliefs are so strong, they won't let common sense get in the way of, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. It's because that's what they've been raised to believe. That's
I know. We, an outsider, do we have moral right, obligation to inform these people or to save the children from this kind of treatment, which is against their health, natural growth? I
think we definitely have, and what we should do, we have the job to tell them, like, oh yeah, maybe this isn't what you should be doing.
Golf course here. They
but
moved
you can't
here just
impose.
Recently.
What?
There are still boxes everywhere. Anyway, yes, Omid.
You just impose your beliefs on someone. You can't force them to uptake your beliefs, but you can definitely share with them what you believe is right and what you think should be done. Beautiful.
And this is a kind of little bit Socratic dialogue I'm trying to do with you. And you are there. You have a good mind, but it takes a longer to try to understand really what is justice. You are right now. You are relativist. Relativist.
Oh, what?
Relativist means believe that it is the person makes decision what is right, what is wrong, and what is wrong, what is right depends morally depends on the person or on the community. You are it is like tribal communal relativists, group relativity, not personal group. But sometimes you have even problem with the group decision, correct? If for example, if a group
have to listen to yourself,
justifies slavery and stuff, you think that it is wrong, correct?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like you shouldn't go out of your way to break community guidelines if they are just and if they are respectful to human rights. But if they're
what is human rights? That's exactly what we are talking about. Do children have rights, for example? Or their parents, they are at the whim of their parents. If their parents crazy religious, you think they can do anything on their kid? Let's say, in their religion is to tattoo their faces, their kids' faces, to put something, a kind of the picture of a cow on one cheek, the picture of eagle on other cheek. Okay, I want to talk with this gentleman. Hey. Easton, or the other name also known as Kamyar? Kamyar. Tell me, what is my name? Do you remember my name?
No.
Shame on you. I remember even two of your names. You don't even remember my name?
No.
Ask from him, learn from him. Come on. Come on. Do you want to learn my name?
Edip.
You don't want? Then I'm not going to tell you my name. You know, he described me to his mom last night, says, who did you meet?
What?
Who did you meet? His mom asks him. And then he describes me, he says, a guy with big lip. Can you imagine from his perspective, little perspective, he sees me a guy with big lip because all others thinner lips.
Does he have big lips?
No, a little bit.
His perspective is different.
What is this?
Okay.
What is this?
Okay, I am closing.